Makeup assumptions. We all got them. There are a lot of myths out there. There are also a lot of facts. And I'm gonna be here, obviously, and clarify some things for you guys and kind of help you guys through this world of makeup and myths and facts and in-betweeners. This video is going to be very educational. I don't really do videos like this. I mean, I try, but I don't really do videos like this. So today's a special occasion. Why don't you guys just sit down and let me educate you on some things. Makeup assumption number 1. You cannot, sir, shut it. Whore. Okay. You cannot use liquid products after powder. We're gonna start off with a curveball because this can be true, but also can be very false. For example, there is actually a makeup hack that a lot of people with really oily skin use, where after primer, they kind of set the primer with a light powder, and then they go in with their liquid foundation. A lot of people do this. If you guys watch Jackie Aina, this is something she does in almost every single one of her videos, and it works for her, and it's an actual hair hack that I think Wayne Goss kind of gave to us, and Jackie Aina is just the one person that I know actually does it a lot. So that kind of debunks this as like a fact. There are instances where this can go very wrong. It just depends on how you use the powder beforehand and I guess how you apply the liquid. It can be a finicky process, but it is a doable process. It just depends on how you do it, how much practice you have, and it could be very beneficial, but it could also be a very big disaster. So just keep that one in mind. Not necessarily a fact, not necessarily false. It's one of those in-betweeners. Everything with dimethicone is bad. That is not true. This is one of those reference things, I think. Personally, me, I don't do well with dimethicone. My skin does not like it. My pores react so badly to it. What dimethicone is, let's break this one down. It is a silicone. A silicone that our body can't really break down. So what it ends up doing is it clogs our pores over time, and it ages our skin again over time because it is a heavy product. Unless you have a really good skincare routine down, and I mean you practice a good skincare routine every single day. If you know you're going to be wearing a dimethicone product, you have to deep clean your skin and really worry about scooping everything out that gets in those pores, because dimethicone is very comedogenic, and basically that's just a long-winded way of saying it clogs pores. And if it clogs pores, then it causes breakouts, it causes blackheads, it causes a bunch of things in your skin that you don't want, which accelerates aging and all that stuff. So it's not necessarily that it's bad. It's just that if you are not necessarily practicing really good habits with your skincare, it can be very bad. The reason I don't do it is because my skin dries out very quickly. So if I were to exfoliate and really like get in there every single night, it's just not worth it to me to damage my skin after putting something that's not necessarily good for my skin in there, if that makes any sense. That's why I personally stay away from primers that are dimethicone based and a lot of things that are dimethicone based. Dimethicone isn't just in makeup, it's in a lot of hair products, it's in a lot of your shampoos. Pantene Pro V, it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to tell you that right now. Pantene Pro V is basically just dimethicone. It's not that it's making your hair healthy, baby girl, it's that it's making your hair look healthy, which there's a difference. Because if you were to use a stripping shampoo after using Pantene Pro V for like months and months, your skin is going to be so stripped, so dry, and so unhealthy under there because it's just a pretty little layer. It's like putting dog poop in like a saline bag. Yeah, it's a saline bag and it looks cute, but it's not because there's poop. That's a terrible metaphor. That's why I stay away from it, but a lot of people do still use it, and they do very well with it because again, they have really extravagant sleeping nighttime beauty routines, which I honestly do not. I do take care of my skin, but I also really love this thing called sleep, and the quicker I could get to that thing, I'm happy. Next assumption, waterproof mascara makes your lashes fall out. This is one of those things where I don't necessarily know if it's true or if it's not. My understanding is that it does make your lashes fall out, but it's not a special ingredient or anything like that that actually makes them just fall out as soon as the mascara touches them, or if the mascara is like sitting on them. My understanding is that because a mascara that's not really waterproof can come off more easily because it can come off with water, you'd have to be a lot more rough with a waterproof mascara, which if you're rough on your lashes period, it's damaging to them. I think it's just a matter of finding the most gentle alternative to remove the mascara, because again, the waterproof mascara is made to perform and last longer. I very rarely wear waterproof mascara for that reason. I very much do baby my lashes, and me just applying and applying and applying waterproof mascara on a daily basis, that would just be me slapping God across the face, you know, for giving me a tremendous gift. And I'm not about to do big guns upstairs like that. That's just rude. Next assumption. Using full coverage foundation is only for people with acne. No, that is not true at all. You can have the world's most perfect skin, which Tati Westbrook does, and still wear and love full coverage foundation, which Tati Westbrook does. This one. This is an assumption, and I understand why. Full coverage foundation is made to cover more. That's why it's called full coverage. There's sheer, there's medium, there's full, and then there's like a second layer of skin. I honestly am not the biggest fan of full coverage foundations. I've been very open about that. It's just a matter of preference, guys. Like I said, I know a lot of people that actually have really beautiful skin. They just choose to have full coverage looks. I don't necessarily know why, but I've come to the conclusion that it's just because they like a full crisp layer to work on top of. It's like when you're painting a painting, some people don't mind, I guess, painting over another painting, and a lot of people have to white it completely out and then have a fresh canvas to work on. And I think that's just preference of the person coming through and being outplayed here. I don't think it's anything really crazy. I don't think full coverage is necessarily more damaging or better for the skin. Again, it's just a matter of preference. If you have a lot of acne and you wish to cover it up, my best piece of advice for you would be to not wear makeup, if I'm being honest. But if you absolutely have to, I don't think you have to use a lot of full coverage foundation, because a lot of full coverage foundations do tend to be mattifying, and mattifying foundations are just not good for acne prone skin because they can be very drying, and it's just not advice I would give. But then again, guys, I think this is just a matter of preference. It's not necessarily a fact. It's not necessarily a myth either. A lot of these are actually going to be a matter of preference, believe it or not. Using a primer is a must. While I highly disagree with the alternative, you do not need to wear a primer. It's not a must. But you also don't need to wear a seatbelt when you drive. You also don't need to brush your teeth to survive. You also don't need to wipe your butt after you go to the bathroom. But here's my whole argument about this one, guys. It sure does help. Baking makes makeup cakey. This is a myth, but again, this could be a myth that happened because people were baking wrong. Also, this is really funny to me because baking can make your makeup look cakey. Do you get it? No. If you bake properly, and if you invest in like a good powder, and if you are using good techniques and good makeup overall, there's no reason why baking should make you look cakey. If anything, baking can help you look more airbrushed and flawless and natural, which is why personally I bake, not just for the longevity of my makeup, but because I feel like baking does something to the skin where it leaves you very airbrushed and very nice and very flawless. But I've been baking for years. I actually don't even remember a time where I haven't baked. So I have perfected the art of baking for my skin. Again, I know my skin type. I am combo leaning combo, guys. I'm not combo oily. I'm not combo dry. I am combo pretty damn normal. I know my skin. If you are baking correctly, that opposite should happen. You should not look cakey. You should actually look very airbrushed, very flawless, very clean. This one is actually, I was so happy this one was brought up, because if there's anything I've been trying to teach you on this channel, it's this one right here. More expensive products equals better quality products. That is a huge myth. That is the biggest myth I think that has been sold to you by the cosmetic industry, especially the high-end cosmetic industry. They want to tell you that the bigger the price tag, the better the product, and that is not true at all, you guys. There are good in every brand and there are bad in almost every single brand. There is not really anything that the price point makes a difference in sometimes other than just the price point. I have foundations that I have bought that have cost me $60, $50 and have been terrible. And I have a Wet n Wild foundation that I'm looking at right now that cost me maybe $4 and is one of the most stunning foundations I've ever seen. There are eyeshadow palettes from Givenchy that have been the worst quality eyeshadow palettes I've ever tried. And I mean, that's Givenchy, yo. That's a very expensive brand compared to a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette that actually has worn so beautifully. The price point doesn't really matter. Sometimes it does when it comes to the quality of the ingredients, but honestly guys, it's not really that big of a difference. Sometimes people are just greedy and that's just what it is. Sometimes you're just paying for the name, and that is why I stand by this on my channel. It's not about the price tag, yo. Not even a little bit. It's about if something works. That's what I'm going to tell you on this channel. Some price tags might be bigger than others, but I'm gonna make sure that it works and that if it's a complete dud, I also let you know that as well. Next one, oily skin equals no moisturizer. Huge myth, and I see this one happening all the time and it's painful. No. No. It doesn't matter if you have oily skin, dry skin, combo skin, whatever the always moisturize no matter what. Actually, fun fact, a very good way to combat oily skin is to moisturize more. And actually, you should be applying a beauty oil almost every single night if you have oily skin, because if you dehydrate your skin is going to want to produce more oil and more oil to make up for what you are stripping the skin of. So the best way to combat oily skin is actually to moisturize. That way your skin won't work overtime and try to overcompensate that oil. So please moisturize. For the love, don't be stupid, don't be dumb, don't disappoint me like that. Just moisturize all the time, no matter what skin type you have, and wear your sunscreen, please. Setting spray doesn't really do much. That can be a myth, but it could also be very true. It just depends on the setting spray you buy. Some setting sprays are an absolute joke. They're basically just water in a can with some glycerin, but something like the Skin to Nivea sprays, those are incredible. The Urban Decay sprays, those are incredible, and they really do make a difference in the skin. The biggest life hack for making my makeup last was not only setting my face with setting spray, but priming my face with setting spray, which you guys see me do all the time. All right guys, those are all the assumptions I got. Again, I want to thank you guys. I hope this really helped and taught you guys something. I had a blast explaining these to you, and I love to be able to pass on a lot of my knowledge to you guys. This is probably not going to be the last one I do. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'll do more of these, but this was the first in the series, and that's why we started with it, because it's the beginning. And that's usually where shit starts. Yeah. Love you guys very much, and again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I have to pee.